Welcome back. Casey Campbell here with Great Lakes Post. We continue our Horizon team men's basketball team previews. Today we're looking at IUPUI. We are pleased to be joined by the head coach of IUPUI men's basketball. That, of course, is Matt Crenshaw. How's it going, man?
All right, Casey. Thank you. Thank you for having me. How are you doing?
Doing well. How is this, first off, how have summer workouts gone for you, and to have a normal off season, unlike last year? What's that like?
That's it. Just adjusting to somewhat being back normal. Me learning the guys, me forming the staff, our staff getting to know the guys. It's been exciting. It's fun. Guys are really understanding what hard work means.
Yeah, of course. Going into this season, what has it been like just to get to reacclimate with the guys, just to get to know them too?
Well, I think that's it. As you lay the foundation, you have to gain trust. It's about building relationships with them, planting the seeds, spending time with them, away from the court, away from weights, away from sitting down and really getting to know them. That's been showing, and we've had a couple players, got here the middle of June. Some got here in August. So it's been an ongoing process.
Yeah, for sure. Go in and talk about some of the top guys that are coming back for your team this year.
Well, what I tell you is, if most people would know, we would have lost our three seniors last year: Marcus Burke, Jalen Manette, and Elijah Goss. Both all three to graduation. Two are playing professionally, and one transferred to another university. So now it's about, we added some new guys. BJ Maxwell transferred from grad transfer from St. Edwards, formerly a D1 transfer, but it was at a Division II last year. He'll be a senior for us. We brought in some talented freshmen, 6'10" guy from Houston, Chuk Satua. We got another freshman, 6'4", kind of do it all guard for us, Boston Stain. And then KJ Pruitt, a postgraduate freshman from Sunrise Christian, another 6'3", 6'4", athletic guard. And then some of our returners would be, the starting point guard, Mike DePersia, third in the nation in assist turnover ratio last year. Nate McClure, been a great leader for us as we get to know the team, and as we get through practice, been phenomenal. Couldn't ask for anything more. And then we also added another grad transfer in Zach Gunn from Ball State. He was in the transfer portal before I, got the job. And once he saw me get the job, he obviously congratulated me. And a couple of days later, wanted to come. So that'd be some guys. And we have some other guys just trying to make their mark. Bobby Harvey and AZCA. So we have a few guys that are, trying to make their mark, trying to make their impression. But, we're far from determining who's going to be those guys right now.
What intrigued you to come to IUPUI?
Well, it's home for me. It's my alma mater. It's the place that kind of helped shape me a little bit in my development. Obviously leaving the military, I made a new home in Indianapolis and welcomed me in. And we had some phenomenal moments. Went to the NCAA tournament when I played. Went overseas, and this is a place that I got my first coaching job as an assistant coach, and had some great years here. And it was time for me to, want to get the program back to where it was at in the success that we were having when I played. And for me, it was more than getting to the NCAA tournament, more than, just winning 20 games. I want to really take IUPUI to the next level.
Of course. So looking at what the Horizon League looks like this year, I've talked to a lot of coaches in this league, and they've said this league's just going to be absolutely insane. And obviously what you're getting into. Of course, reuniting with, the rivalry with Purdue Fort Wayne and all that. How exciting is that, as well as just overall playing in the Horizon League?
What I'd say is I'm not big on those rivalries. I've never made Fort Wayne a rivalry. For me, it's more about the conference as a whole.
Okay.
But the conference is going to be tough. Because here's what I say about the rivalry. I don't want to make it like Fort Wayne game is more important than say Wright State, because it's
Absolutely.
not. And sometimes people get caught up in trying to make a rival game versus every game is that magnitude. That's my personal philosophy, and that's how we'll approach things. Do
Yeah.
you want to win your in-state games? Yes, but every game's it's a conference game. Every conference game is big, but like you said, it's gonna be tough from top to bottom, and we know that the teams, the Northern Kentucky's, the Wright States, the Milwaukee's, this year would add in the talent that they had and the success that they had, the Cleveland States, uh, as well as the others. A lot of teams were somewhat different because of COVID and whether it be injuries. So you didn't really get to see the true teams, and a lot of teams had COVID protocols last year. So a lot of teams are very talented. Everybody's added a lot of pieces. So I understand it's going to be tough, but I'm up for the challenge, and I look forward to rebuilding this program.
I know that you came back to IUPI. What's it been like to welcome recruits back? Because I know as an assistant, just trying to go out and find people, you couldn't do that. Now you can. Now the kids are back on campus again, and overall, that's got to feel good.
Well, it does. The only thing that COVID would have done, I would say, is it put everybody on the same level playing field.
Correct.
From the recruiting, maybe taking them to these dinners, what you have to offer on campus, all those things. It would have put every university on a level playing field, which was, I guess, good for the game. But then what I'd say, yes, it's great because now for the student athlete, more so than the universities, they actually get to put foot on campus. They actually get to see, where they would be, where the classes they go, the facilities they'd be in. They actually get to meet some of the players, and they actually get to have face-to-face interaction. I think all of those things are really, really important. And hopefully we won't have as many transfers this year as there was last year.
How are you navigating this transfer thing?
Well, for me, it's about building the program from the ground up,
Right.
groundwork for us. We're laying our foundation or our groundwork for us. And we took two in one, BJ Byron Maxwell Jr., BJ Maxwell, would have been a division, he was a Division I guy, Division I transferred back closer to home due to COVID back to Texas. And with this, last year, they weren't able to kind of, pay and do some of those things. So he, made a decision to come. And honestly, I didn't think I was going to get him. Texas Tech and UTEP, some other schools were recruiting him, and but he just saw our vision and what we wanted to do, and he came in. And then the other one, like I said, was Zach Gunn. Was able to be around him and coach him 3 years as an assistant at Ball State, and he had already had his name in the transfer portal, and he was talking to a few universities, and like I said, we had a conversation, and he told me he wanted to come. Obviously being closer to home, getting his master's degree, and familiarity with the coach, all check the boxes of areas what he was looking for. But I think I want to look at high school. I want to be a mixture. Yes, we may look at some transfer portal to find certain pieces, but I don't want to live and die by the transfers, because the reality is everybody's transferring for a reason. So for us, if you can get a great high school player, I believe in player development. I believe in development, and you can get a lot more out of. Sometimes you can get that freshman, you can build him up, and that's more exciting than spending 6 months with a person, because you don't really get to build that long-term life relationship with a player that may be a senior. You only have for 6 months. You'll get him in maybe August, September, depending on if he's in grad school, if he can get in the summer, and then he's really done in March, April, he's leaving you. So you don't really get to have that long interaction. I believe in that relationship. Everybody that knows me, that's one of the things I pride myself on: player development, holistically development, and then the lifelong relationship.
Absolutely. When you look at your team right now, if you can improve in one area, what do you think that would be?
Well, this summer, the focus has been defensive. It's been a defensive focus. over the last 2 seasons at least, with the interim coach, the defensive numbers have slipped, and we want to improve that. The mindset is defense. I want to play an exciting style, but in order to, what I'm telling the players, in order to come down, shoot some transition threes, maybe shoot some quick shot, you have to get plenty of stops. So that's been our focus. We want to, be great defensively, and then we'll keep adding pieces to fit, as we recruit to really get our style of play for the offensive standpoint.
And also, what do you want to see out of this team as we head into the first few games of the season?
That's a great question. I think if what I love to see is one, the competitive spirit, the fighting, not so much about the wins and losses early. It's going to be about, getting a chance to see them play against someone else in those tough games, showing mental toughness, showing perseverance, showing the fight, in togetherness. Those would be the things that I would strive for. I mean, as you may know, tough one out the gate. You have Butler, and Butler returns everyone, and then we go right down next to Evansville, and Coach Licklider does a great job, phenomenal job, the former Butler and Iowa coach, and so those are going to be 2 tough ones right off the bat. But that's what we'd be looking for, honestly, as a head coach. Do I want to win? Yes, 1,000%. But it's about improving daily. That's kind of been my message. We want to try to get, hourly wins, daily wins, weekly wins. And, we can stack enough of those on top of each other, then we'll have some success.
All right. Matt Crenshaw, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and good luck this season.
All right. Thanks, Casey, for having me. Anytime you'd love to have me back, just give me a call.